Welcome to today's episode of Be Your Purpose, where we explore your soul's journey so you can be seen, heard, and valued for what you do. I'm your host, Claire Chancellor, and today I'm talking with the beautiful Hayley from Pure Balanced Healing. Hayley is a dedicated kinesiologist, healer, and coach who helps her clients create significant shifts so they can step into their strength and their self-worth. Today, we are talking and going into a session to explore how you can attract in clients. Now, I've been on this journey. I know what it's like when you're right at the beginning of your healing business and the overwhelm, the panic, the questions about how do I get clients in the door? Well, in my past, I was obviously able to resolve that and then worked my way up to understand how to attract in clients, so much so that I had a 9-month wait list. This was in the days before Instagram, before I had a website, and somehow my clients would find me from Poland, Italy, Bahamas, and everywhere in between. And it was quite a surprise how people got my phone number. But that's what happens when you create that stable sense of attraction. You know what you want, you have that certainty behind you, and it's like, yes, this is what I want. And then people find you, you become a magnet for your clients. So in today's session, what I'm going to do with Hayley is take her through the key steps to be able to open the doors and attract in not just any client, but the client that just brings the magic and the party and the fun to her business. Now, this doesn't mean that we're not taking her business seriously, but what we are doing is setting up her energy so that there's that co-creation, the equal win-win, beautiful flow of energy, so that she attracts in the clients that she does want to work with and help people rule themselves out in the sense where if they're not a good fit for Hayley, then they don't even attract her. They don't waste her time. She doesn't need to do sales calls. The right people jump in, say yes, and they want what she has to offer, which is exactly what you can create in your business. You just have to know the key steps on what's going on with making your energy wobble, the doubt, the hesitation, and then what you can do about it. As I said, we have a dynamic conversation, and I lead Hayley through the 3 stages that I would encourage her to explore, to go on, to not only attracting clients, to not only attracting in the finances that she wants, so attracting in the next level of her business where that creative energy just flows, where it's a choice to step into her business rather than a human thing where you have to work to make money. So again, fantastic conversation. Our Hayley went all in, and what you'll notice about Hayley's energy, she's a deep thinker. When I've been in the presence of her energy throughout NLP training, she speaks deliberately, her highest intent, considers what you're saying, and then she will absolutely run with the tools that you gift her. So I'm so excited to share this session with you. So as I said, let's get started. Let's attract in clients. Let's make the magic happen. Welcome, everybody. Today we have the beautiful Hayley from Pure Balance Healing, and we are here to talk all things attracting clients. A big welcome to you, Hayley.
Oh, thank you, Claire. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have this conversation. We met in the NLP training room, and I've got to say, as I've already told you before, you being in the classroom or in the Zoom training room was such a privilege and an honor to share that like-minded conversation. As I've shared with you, you have always come across quite strong in your energy and very intentional with the questions that you asked, the guidance that you provided. I imagine these qualities shine in your business too within kinesiology and coaching.
Oh, thank you, Claire. That's really lovely.
Yeah, so when you do approach your clients, I imagine then that strength, that intention does shine through with everything that you're doing in business.
I hope so. I suppose I like to show up, in my most authentic self and try and I don't like to rush things. So I suppose like I do take that time to process what's happening and really think about the best way to support the client in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's what's shone through within the NLP training. And every time I shared with you a tool, a process, it was beautiful to observe because you took it on board, looked at it in that multi-dimensional way, and absolutely ran with the tools. I've seen and heard you talk about the results that you're already getting with friends and family. It sounds like the coaching style has really resonated with where you want to go within your business.
Yeah, I love how it's just slots in really perfectly with the work that I'm already doing. And it is really effective. Like I used a parts integration on a client the other day, and she just absolutely loved that process because it was, you know, that really was her issue, was that she had, part of her wanting to do something and part of her not. And so to be able to just have a process that we just went bang, and she was sorted after that. And she said, I can't, like afterwards, she couldn't believe how her view on the whole thing had changed and
Yeah.
her approach to it. Like she was just
Yeah.
much more open to viewing it differently and sort of going with the flow a bit more. So yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
You make a good point. Like when 80% of the problem is solved when we're looking at the situation in a different light. The whole new perspective opens up opportunities, different doors to see the solution a lot easier.
Mm.
Within your journey, within all of the healing arts that you're trained in, we've got kinesiology, NLP, so neuro linguistic programming. What else is in your toolkit?
So I also have Reiki and crystal healing. Um, And I, way back when I started this journey, like became a yoga teacher. So I have so I did that first and then progressed through the other modalities. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I did 2 years of Chinese medicine as well, like before I went into kinesiology. Sort of was doing that and then decided that kinesiology was a better fit for me. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So your clients are getting, what comes to mind is like that rainbow of toolkits. Like you really, when you speak about that multifaceted healing, your clients have no idea actually on how you can draw upon different modalities to just narrow in straight into the solution. That's awesome.
It's, I suppose for me, like it's great having all those modalities, but it's really like now just working out how to combine them all in a way that I get the best results for my clients. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
I'm curious then, what drew you to both kinesiology and NLP?
Um, just that how empowering the tools are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and just to be able to make those significant shifts and changes in a person's belief systems and their self-awareness. And I think that ultimately that's where the power lies in people, is in their own, taking responsibility for their life
Yeah.
and being and acknowledging their part in that as well, and understanding how they could be sort of restricting their life. And so I suppose that's come through from my own experiences in life and what I've found has helped me. So that's yeah, that's what sort of drew me to it, I suppose. And I love working with energy, so I feel like that's obviously where the kinesiology come into it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like that. Oh, big breath in with that one. It's just, oh, I love the way that you spoke about that people can create those significant shifts and how you hand the responsibility over to the client. Like, yeah, the power is actually in your hands to make these shifts. And in fact, this is why I'm sharing some of these coaching sessions with my audience so that they get an insight into how easy things can shift instead of the typical kind of mainstream way, that can drag on. It's like, no, when you're actually willing and ready to drop down the walls, the barriers,
Mm.
shift quite quickly, as you've already said with the parts integration client. I'm curious, Hayley, when you think about the Hayley before yoga, kinesiology, what was missing from her world?
I was very easily um, knocked over by what was happening around me. Yeah. Like I was, and I didn't have clear direction, I suppose, either in where I was going or what I wanted even. Like it was like, and I was very easily, I was sort of relying on other people's um, ideas and things to guide me instead of coming into myself for guidance. Yeah.
Wow. When you stepped into that guidance, that inner validation, I imagine that rippled out throughout all directions of your life, home, business, friends, extended family. Can you talk a little bit more about that impact when you stepped into that internal validation?
Yeah, it just sort of, I don't know, like I just started to realize, like things just started to happen for me that, I would just think about them and then it will show up. So, like, I suppose, yeah, life just started to become a bit easier, a lot easier. Yeah.
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 Would you say then that's one of the key things that you offer or share with your clients is how to come back to their inner truth, their inner validation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And like to actually remember that that is inside of you and to bring them to a piece of like a part of stillness during their sessions as well, where they can really feel that. And then it's like, you know, depending on where they're at, what tool next in terms of like, what does this client need at this point in time? What little step can they take that's going to build that awareness around like them being in charge here? Yeah.
Yeah. So then nah, the ripple effect is no more, easily being knocked over. They're that, I mean, metaphorically for me, they're that tall oak tree. They're in their own internal power and like watch things change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the energy level goes up, because they're not letting it be drained by everything else. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, we could talk all day about the energy drainage and things when you get into other people's drama and stuff. But today we are focusing on attracting clients. But I know we may have to hit record again, Hayley. Uh, so, so today we're focusing on attracting clients. It sounds like you have been really diligent at creating a strong foundation in the background, that skill set that you have, the confidence and self-worth that you have when you show up in the session. It sounds like building a house, that strong foundation is in place now for the next piece. Do you want to share with everybody where you're up to in inviting clients in? Because obviously I know, but I just wanted to hear from your perspective, where are we up to with the next piece in your business?
Okay. So, like, I started my clinic in August. So, I suppose I've only been really end of August. So, I've been doing it for a few months now. And I opened it in a town where I actually knew nobody. So it was like a pretty big step. um, and the way, so if, like to date, what I've done to attract clients is I've been using social media. And then I suppose like um, word of mouth,
Yep.
basically. Yeah. So um, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And so So we at this time of recording, so we're a few months into inviting in and attracting in paying clients. And so this is that next chapter, an important chapter, as you said earlier, for the business to be what it is. Yeah, there's that mutual co-creation. You step in, they step in, and then the magic happens, right?
Mm. Yeah.
I'm curious with what you've observed from others, what do you think other coaches and healers do to attracting clients?
Um, they're putting like, I suppose they're putting themselves out there. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, like they're running workshops, um, and yeah, online videos, stuff
yeah.
like
Like
yeah.
when you think about the number of clients that you want, talk to me about, I don't need the numbers specifically, especially in a recorded session, but have you got a clear idea on how many a week? Are we talking one-on-ones? Are we talking groups? I know that was like two or three questions in one, but where are you up to with the way that you want to work, Hayley?
So like if I suppose I'd like to work a couple of full days a week at the moment,
Yeah,
but work
yeah,
towards maybe 3 full days a week.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and then I would really like to run some weekend, like 1 day workshops as well. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, like I don't want to be working 5 or 7 days every week. That's not my, that's not going to fit in my life. So, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And that, I mean, that's what your business name is, isn't it? Pure Balance Energy. Like it's the balancing family with home life, family with home life, business with home life, and making that work so that there's enough
yeah,
energy. You're being charged up in your business to show up in your home life. The home life charges you up to show up in your business. It's just that whole beautiful energy flow.
yes, yeah.
When it comes to when it comes to the 3 or 4 days working in the business, do you see other people doing that?
Yes,
If you knew how to create that, what would that mean about your business?
that would mean that I would be like helping as many people as I would like to. And that would mean that I would be financially sort of independent. Um, and that I, yeah, I don't know what else. Be success. I'd feel like fulfilled, like
Ah,
I was achieving what I had set out to. That's yeah.
yes, absolutely. I have, so sharing my own experience, obviously was in a similar situation to you, however many years ago, and I had created that flow of clients, Hayley, where it did get a 9 month wait list. And so when we're talking about attracting clients, 100%, I know how to do that. And I do understand all of the way that the energy works, the way that you show up, and all of the bells and whistles, which is quite fun to be here and sharing this with you. I'm curious, do you think, I'll start again, when you think about how 3 or 4 days a week, let's say that that's your sold out, okay, there's a wait list now, people. When you think about how other coaches create and healers create that sold out wait list kind of business, do you get an under do you why am I getting tangled on this one? Do you think you'd be able to identify the sold out coaches and healers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those sold out coaches and healers. Do you think that they're using advertising, social media, marketing side of things?
The ones that I'm thinking of are, yeah.
Mhm. And what do you observe with that?
Um, that their content is really quality and you get a real sense of who they are, the person. Yeah. Like you sort of feel drawn to them because you feel like you know them even though you don't.
Yes, yes, okay. And we're talking to an energy healer, guys. Like Hayley's looking beyond the masks, beyond the like, yeah, going straight to the core and the potential of who's presenting that content. What would that be like for you if you showed up in that kind of manner?
That would be amazing. Like I'm terrified to show up like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Earlier, you said that there'd be that sense of fulfillment and achievement in the business. Do you get a sense of where you feel fulfilled in other areas of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want more on that?
No, that's okay. And so when you think about the fulfillment and like, yeah, stepping into that picture, feeling the feelings, what is it about you? How are you showing up when you're feeling fulfilled?
Just like there's no questioning, there's no like I'm just whole. Like, yeah. Um, and confident and there's no doubt.
Uh, yeah.
Mm.
It's a little bit like a child walking into a playroom, picking up the toys, playing with them however they want to, no matter what, no matter how they were originally intended to be played with. Like children go in, they play, they find fulfillment, that wholeness in, yeah, no doubt, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm going to show up. It's
Mm.
quite interesting when we bring that over into your business, that when you are confident, fulfilled, that your clients are definitely going to receive that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my understanding working with lots and lots of clients, I understand that a client can say, or a coach can say, yes, I have done all the things. I'm absolutely ready and willing to jump all in my business and receive clients. And yet, there's, on the other hand, you can tell where this is going. They're going to, they haven't created what they want yet. It's in the works. And so there's potential for there to be maybe kind of wobbles, the doubt, the insecurities, the fear of being rejected, whatever the narrative, whatever the story is, there's an incongruence within the energy. When we've already spoken about this, but you already know when the energy split, right? Like, what have you witnessed people when the energy is split? How do things show up for them?
Well, there's just that like um contradiction, like I don't and confusion sort of state. Um, yeah, like they just don't know what step to take next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so their thoughts are split, their words are split, the actions are split, like even the way that they show up can be split. And so the quality of the content or the offers, oh, maybe I should try this, maybe that. And there's that lack of wholeness, there's a lack of fulfillment because they are doing all the things trying to get something to work, like spaghetti at the wall, like hopefully that will stick. Can you get a sense of yourself, maybe not now, but in the past you've done that, like hoping but panic, but like
Yeah. Yeah, I can. It's sort of that reactive, like, oh, I've got to do something. What am I going to do? I'll just do this. Like that sort of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then from my experience anyway, when there's the lack of congruency, lack of balance, and all of that, yes, you can still attract in clients, but those clients will reflect back all of the things that you're trying to avoid with the doubt stuff. Like, no, put that to the side. I've got to attract clients. I'll say yes to anybody, but yet you still attract in the things that you don't want to look at, which I'm giggling because I know, I know my own inner attempts that I've had with this in many years ago, but it was just like, I've got to, I know better. I've got to call myself out on the the incongruency. Can you relate to what I'm talking about, Hayley?
Very much so. Yeah.
If you had a client who's like, wanting to move forward but don't want to look at that, where would you take them?
Oh, what did I do? Um, I'd probably, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd see stuck.
You know, you're doing well because I threw a doozy of a question at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no amount of convincing somebody to go look at the thing, but at some point the NLP kinesiology is like, okay, the power is in your hands. You need to be responsible. If you're not getting what you want, then let's have a look at what's knocking you off kilter. Like, let's go and let's check that out.
Yeah.
So many times, even though we're talking about attracting clients and business, from experience, whether you're dealing with a hypnotherapist or you're dealing with a CEO of a company, if they're not getting what they want, many times that root cause comes back to childhood scenarios, even as simple as being dropped off at the school gate and thinking that you're ready for school, but you look to mum's sobbing, and it's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with the outside world that I need to be aware of? And it's just all of these mixed messages from our childhood that we've taken on board as the truth, the beliefs that we have. And so when our intuition is pulling us to do this next big step, all all of the limiting beliefs start to come to the surface. I imagine this is all making sense, right, Hayley?
Yeah.
Would you add anything to that for the listener or for your potential clients? Anything about the limiting beliefs or the willingness to look at the things under the surface?
Um, yeah, I suppose when I'm working with people, like it can be hard to like for them to go there. So I suppose I gently try and present, like lead them there, I suppose, in a way that they can sort of see it. But like it's a but I think like from my own experience, when you actually will sit with it and look at it, like that's where you're going to get the most benefit out of your session. And
Yeah,
yeah, the most change and growth. Yeah, sure.
yeah. And as you have articulated in other conversations, that growth or sitting with it can be uncomfortable. And a lot of healers have a belief about not wanting the other person to be uncomfortable. And so sometimes they hold back, like, oh, I don't want to make them uncomfortable. But you and I know that it's like, yeah, like jump into the uncomfortability, the discomfort, make friends with it, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So things shift at the other side, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I resonate with what you just said there about like me holding back a bit sometimes with the client because I'm like, don't want them to feel too uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to, that's something obviously I need to have a look at.
Yeah. Because even
Yeah.
even as the trainer, I've got to share with you, as a trainer, knowing that learning, doing something new and unfamiliar can make people really uncomfortable. And in most trainings, and in fact, the really good successful trainings, there's going to be a chapter, and in workshops, retreats, there's going to be a chapter where it's known as the storming, where where people are like, yeah, let's come in, and then all of the stuff starts to come to the surface, and then the wobbles start to show. And if people stay in that resistant chapter, they'll make a flop of the they'll make a flop of their experience in the training versus people like yourself, like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, let's go do the thing to get the
Mm.
growth on the other side. So from my experience, that discomfort shows up in the one-on-ones, training, workshops. Is one of the key steps to being yeah, facilitating and holding the space for people through that for the betterment of the outcome.
Mm.
With the with the attracting clients, the very first step is to get clear on where the wobbles and the doubt and the incongruency is, where the split energy is. And we can definitely dive into a bit of a process today with that. The next piece on that one, Hayley, is once somebody's mastered that and they've worked through that chapter in a coaching program, I would then go really deep at looking at their need for clients. Do you get a sense of like why that would be beneficial to look at the need for clients?
Yeah.
What comes up for you with like anybody who's needing anything? What comes up for you in your business or your when you've seen it with clients when they're going into that needy energy?
Um, it's like you're seeking that external, I don't know, to
Yeah,
support you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I often see the difference within wanting something and like that's my choice versus the needing something. I think you make a really good point with the external validation. It's outside of you. Yeah, there's oh, for me anyway, I'm looking into it. Like there's a panic. Will I get it? Won't I get it? The other person gets to decide. So
Mm.
sometimes in that need for clients that the power actually goes in the hands of the client rather than the power in the hands and the inner power, talking ego power, but that fulfilling power to say, this is my business, this is how I can serve you, these are the options, and pretty much take it or leave it. And being able to observe that the client may be wobbly, yes, no, but the need to like convince them to come stops happening. Is this
Yeah.
making sense, Hayley?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of when you say it like that, it just there is a shift in my thinking there. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more. I want to know what's coming up for
Well,
you
like
at
I
your
think
end.
I may have been like maybe sitting in that need, like yeah,
Yeah.
sector.
Yeah, so from my business, if somebody applies for coaching, they're required to fill out a questionnaire. And some of the I give a bit of my tips away here. I want the client to rule themselves out, Hayley. I want them to jump a couple of hoops there to be able to get to me in the sense that when I offered you this recorded session and other thing, you went, yep, jumping all in, I'm ready. And I'm like, this is exciting to work with Hayley because we're just like making it happen. Person who fill out a questionnaire and no, no, no. And you're like, I don't think I want to be in that entanglement for the next 3 months or how they want to work with me for. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So like attracting in those clients that are wanting, like they're excited about the process and really want the change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the
Mm.
thing is, with my business, before COVID happened, I didn't have a website, I didn't have Instagram. And it was just that word of mouth where clients were coming from Poland, Italy, the Bahamas. So like, how did people get my phone number? But
Mm.
there was an alignment in my energy, I believe, that just um, radiated out. I do consider it like my taxi light was on for the right people to find me instead of me chasing them, especially in that particular chapter. And so this is what I would want for you, Hayley, is that people, oh, Hayley, got to get onto Hayley and that they come to you rather than your energy going out in that needy way. And again, in my questionnaires, there'll be things like Do you believe in spirit guides? Truth is, I don't need the answer. The question is there deliberately so they rule themselves out. Oh, Claire's a bit woo woo. Like, if you're not into the woo woo as much as I am, we're just going to, it's going to be difficult. So, how would you feel about actually letting those clients go, the ones that are not in alignment?
Yeah, I suppose that's a really like when you've just started your business, that's a really hard thing to do because you're like really grateful for all your clients and like you're still trying to work out, I suppose, who your client is in a way. But I suppose after a while of attracting in clients that maybe aren't the right fit for you and your energy being completely drained or, you're just not getting results because you're not fit for each other. Um, I can see how after a while that could get wearisome and
Yeah.
yeah, have you
Yeah,
looking.
Recipe for burnout,
Okay.
resentment, all the things,
Yeah.
working with the wrong clients.
Yeah. So like definitely to have those clients come in that really aligned with, I think too, when you've got like all the tools that go into that spiritual aspect of life, like you want to be able to use them and to help people with them. Like, but if they're not open to that, then you're not going to be able to do that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly why I was saying, like, that would be chapter two. Chapter one is getting you lined up to align to attract in clients. And then chapter two is now going, I've got the confidence, I can pick them a mile away if I work with them or not. I'm now being more selective. So that's definitely chapter two. And I would want you to be in that position in the next 6 to 12 months, Hayley. That's what I'm saying. That's the when you talk about in the past where there was a lack of direction, from my experience, this is the right path forward. Chapter one, chapter two, chapter three. How do you
Yeah.
feel about it being stagnated or structured in that way? What does that do for your body and mind?
I like it because it gives me sort of like smaller chunks of like steps rather than like a massive thing that I can't see my way through. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then, do you want to know step number three from my perspective?
Yeah.
The next chapter after that is actually looking at the reason why you would have clients. So sometimes people say, okay, I live in a human experience. I need money, security, financial independence. What will be the solution to that? I will sell my time with clients or online courses, whatever it is. To create the online course, you're still selling your time to create it. On stage three for me would be, do you actually need or want clients, or do you want the money? The reason that this happens at that next level is that once you've got all the skills, the foundation, everything in place, the resources, the confidence, then you now have the choice to step into your business, your beautiful spiritual healing business that lights you up. And now a choice. And the money is just a consequence rather than the driving motivation, and the creative energy starts to flow in. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just, let's do
Yeah.
retreats and let's do all the fun stuff. Yeah,
Mm. That sounds really fun and like really beautiful place to be. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so then the clients that you're working with they know that you're showing up because it's a choice. It's for fun. It's for fulfillment, not some level of the money side of things, the human side of things. So yeah,
Yeah.
with everything that we've unpacked, do you have any questions or insights?
No, I just like now I want to get to stage three.
Yeah, let's play. Yeah, let's go. Let's go host a healing retreat, Hayley, up in your sunny part of the world. Let's just go do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah. And you can definitely do that. I've worked with clients who have gone from okay there to like the big retreats in Hawaii. Definitely worked with those clients. They're out there, they're well known on social media, having fun. The thing though, they don't have four children like I have. So it's a that's where
Yeah,
the balance is. Is that what you want to be doing? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, okay. So if it's okay with you, I want to bring the focus back to the discomfort that we spoke about earlier. When we together, when we think about your ideal client, the clients that light you up, there's that co-creation that's happening. Can you can you describe for me what's that like when you see a client achieve those results and solution?
It just feels like really like I get really excited for them.
Yeah.
And I feel like their excitement, like, yeah, come through me, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When you step into a scenario recently where, like, maybe that parts integration client, but when you step into that picture, what ripple effect did that have for you and your family and your home life?
Um, I suppose it gave me that feel like that fulfillment feeling that I was really like able to apply what I'd learned and use it like in such a positive way. And then I suppose there was like when I have those moments, then it just brings me into alignment as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Play with me here, Hayley. When you imagine version of you who is in alignment, that high vibe state, fulfilled, all the things, if we played with this for a second and drew that part of you out, does she want to stand on the left or the right?
Left.
Yeah. You get a sense of what color is there for her?
I'm getting pink.
Can you share with me some more qualities that you notice about her, how old she is, how she stands or sits, or anything there?
Um, she's kind of just like the same age as me. But like has a youthful like quality about it.
I love that.
And yeah, she's like just standing really straight and at
Yeah.
ease. Yeah.
Yes. Like that tall oak tree. Yeah, awesome. When we bring our attention over to the right and tap into a version of you who's been uncomfortable with possibly making other people uncomfortable, just allowing your unconscious mind to bring that version of you out to the right, the discomfort with discomfort. What do you notice about that version of you on the right?
She's basically in fetal position.
Yeah. Do you notice any glow around her?
She's great, like it's black and white. There's no color. Yeah.
Okay. Can you get a sense of what feelings are there for her?
Yeah, like her heart's racing and um she's just really, yeah, unsteady. Hmm.
Okay. Can you tap into what she's saying to herself?
She's like, you can't do this. Yeah.
Okay, so we notice now that we've got the two parts, similar to parts integration, if anybody knows NLP, but we're doing this at the next level. Two parts playing out. We've got the beautiful pink side of you, fulfilled, all of the yumminess. And then we've got another part of you that's in the fetal position. Something's gone on. It's just like, yeah, the world's black and white. Like, this is just too hard. When we have two parts playing out, this is the exact definition of stress. This is the exact definition of not having certainty in the path moving forward because you got one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake, and it just creates that burnout, doubt, just yuck. Do you get a sense of that, Hayley, while we're observing the two of you, the two parts there?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like that's kind of, yeah, makes sense. Anyway.
All right, tell me more, what were you getting then?
Well, I feel like that's how my weeks go, Claire. Like I one moment, one week I'm in the pink, the next minute.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And truth be told, we're coaching somebody, if they're a single person in their business and it's like, yeah, let's get you out there, let's attract in clients. We have to work through all of those limitations, the doubt, the fear, and so forth. And then when you get into the next level of business, okay, hiring VAs and all the things, then there's the next level of growth there, aka the discomfort to move through. So on some life and sorry, some way that never kind of goes away, but it gets easier because you know that the shifts happen quicker. So
Yeah.
I, I hear you with the like, this pink and black and white world. Hopefully, I haven't taken you too far out of the process. But if we focused on the version of you who's feeling into that pink energy, the fulfillment, what words of advice would she share with the one that's in the fetal position?
She would say, you've got everything you need to be able to do this.
Okay.
Mm.
Going to write that down. So you've got everything you need to do this. I want you to pour your energy over to the version of you in the fetal position. Full body tingles and magic's about to happen. And you imagine being told that when you're in that kind of state, you're in the fetal position, black and white, the heart's racing, and someone says, no, you've got everything to do this. How do you honestly feel about being told that?
Well, I still think I don't.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And I'm picking up, for me anyway, I'm picking up some swear words. It's great. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So then let's check in with the fetal position version of you. What, what, do, what words of wisdom? What does, what words of wisdom does she have for the part of you that's just being fulfilled?
So the black and white's talking to pink now.
Yeah.
And what does she want us like? What was it again? Sorry.
No, that's all right. What is that raw truth or that raw advice that she has for the one who's just, going on their merry way and feeling fulfilled? What is the raw words of encouragement that the fetal position's got?
Um, like encouraging words, or is she? No.
Hey, what comes up?
She's basically sort of like, um, I had the word and now it's like, um, hmm, like vulnerable. Like she's like, like I'm completely vulnerable. Like it's, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What does she need from the part that's in the pink?
She needs like protection or yeah, some sort of shield. I don't know, something. Yeah, something to protect her.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Oh, full body tingles. Okay. It's up to you if you want to do this with is it okay if I keep going with this
Mm.
piece? You okay?
Mhm.
You're welcome to do this with your eyes closed if it's easier just to access the feelings.
Mm.
If we just checked in with that little version of you, the vulnerable version of you, what does she believe she needs protection from?
Um, it's like she needs protection from like it's really like everything's just so vast and big, and she can't, like, she feels like sort of lost in that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's play with this very briefly but effectively. If with your eyes still closed and connecting into that that the lost feeling. Let's go with that one. And just checking in the first thing that comes to mind. The first time you felt this lost feeling, was it this life, past life, in the womb, or ancestral?
Getting ancestral.
Oh, okay. So as we zoom all the way back to that very first time your ancestors felt lost, down into that event to see what they saw, to hear what they heard, just to get a sense of that lostness. Can you tell me, are they inside or outside?
They're outside.
Daytime or nighttime?
They
What do you notice?
they're in the desert.
Oh, okay. Can you describe for me roughly how many people are there with you?
I think there's four.
And so as they're there in the desert, what are they saying to themselves?
It's kind of like they just don't know where they are. They're lost.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they've been put out there though. Like, yeah.
Tell me more. They've been put out there?
Yeah, like they've been put out there against their will, basically, like left out there.
Hmm. All right. So, what I want you to do then, very briefly, is to float up above that scenario, still staying on that ancestral timeline, but going back to the piece that's even more important, doing things against their will, going back, just zipping through time and just to be there, Hayley. What was the moment where they had to do things against their will?
They're in some sort of city, sort of like um like a really old um it's got a lot of Middle Eastern type.
Mm, yeah,
um they're in like a market
yeah,
square.
yeah.
um
I'm hearing the noise with you. This is incredible.
I just I'm trying to work out what they were doing. I think they might have been being forced to work against their will.
With that in mind, what I want you to do now is to float up above that scene, floating up higher and higher, and just noticing that that market and the desert, so small, so insignificant down there. Oh, feeling the relief of being out of the noise and then out of the silence, just being up there above that event. And while we could play and explore with this in great detail, I just want you to have a look down there. What are the learnings from that experience of being lost and your will being doing things against your will? What are the learnings from this higher perspective?
That, like, even though, like, they're still a whole person, like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about this. So they're still a whole person?
Like, even though things aren't going, like, to the, like, yeah, it's like, it's sort of like back at that external stuff is like they can't take away what's inside of you.
Tell me more about the way people can treat versus the way you treat yourself.
Sorry, you just cut it out a bit. No.
Yeah, so tell me more about how people treated them versus how they treated themselves.
They didn't have very much self-worth. And then people treated them like that.
Tell me more.
People didn't value them. People just treating them like they were nothing.
So if they believed they were nothing, what happened to their protection?
They just had none. They just were at the hands of other people, basically.
So Hayley, from this perspective, above that event, above your time stream, let's play with this. I want you to imagine that we call in that fulfilled pink version of you to bring in the energy, the balance, the teachings, so that this old chapter, the vulnerability, the lostness, can start to come to a close. If we brought in that version of you who's already tapped into that fulfillment, what are the words of encouragement they would share with your ancestors?
It's just like shine your light out. So that you like radiant and untouched, like sort of like you're just putting out a different field. So you're going to push away that other stuff.
Yeah. Tell me, what do you attract in when you're in that energy?
Like respect and love. And abundance.
Wow. So radiating and shining that light from within automatically attracts in that respect, the love, the abundance.
Yeah.
Wow. So if we were to bring balance to your ancestors' bodies, their time streams, what energy would you do to bring that into balance now?
Just like filling them with like, I'm just seeing like universal life force light just filling their whole bodies from the top down, all around them.
Can we get that universal energy to pour into that ancestral time stream so that all past, present, and future generations can now tap into the lessons and the teachings about shining their light?
Mm-hmm.
As you observe that playing out, Hayley, I want you to notice how the old way starts to collapse in on itself. It's a record that can be stored in the Akashic records or your soul's journey, the book of your soul's journey. But I want you to start to bring in the knowing that things can be different, that we can open up new time streams, that your past doesn't dictate your future. Can you describe for me what's being unfolded before you?
There's just like this beautiful path that is just really lit up. And there's a really beautiful like building at the end, like that's like a beautiful sort of temple, all lit up and sparkly.
Oh, I imagine this is where like-minded souls come together, shine their light. There's a bit of a light party going on.
Yeah.
Love it. Is there anything else there that your ancestors need?
They just need like a hug.
Yeah, let's give them a big, bright, pink, beautiful hug and notice that when they're shining that light, that they shine all of the rainbow light filled colors, that the black and whiteness starts to fade and wash away, that they step up into that energy that protects them, standing up for future generations, letting them go off to that party, closing that chapter, Hayley. And now I just invite you to travel along your time stream into the future, maybe 6 months into the future, where you are shining your light. There's that respect, there's that love, there's that abundance being reflected back to you. And what do you notice is different about you and your business?
It's like a party.
do you have to believe about yourself to bring this party filled energy, the light, the playfulness into your business? What do you have to believe about yourself?
That you're worth it, that you're like worthy of it, I suppose.
Yeah. Where is that in your body?
In my stomach.
You do all the good things that you do and get that energy to radiate out, getting it to fill your aura, strengthening the way that you show up in your business and home, getting that universal light to pour in on this new high vibe business of yours. Noticing as that light ripples out, that the clients that are looking for that light magically find you, and how easy that is to show up in that playful, fulfilled energy. Like, yeah, I want to play in that too. Seeing the doors open with all of the clients, the workshops, all the things. Getting your unconscious mind to lock that into place. And with all of the steps you've taken to get there, Hayley, it's time to bring you all the way back to this now moment, starting to travel all the way back, bringing with you the ahas, the light, the shifts of energy, coming all the way back into the body, starting to wiggle those fingers and toes, heart rate back to normal, and opening your eyes to a whole new.
Wow.
Party at Hayley's house. How are you
But
feeling?
hmm.
After a process like that, I can imagine some clients feel a little bit like, oh, wow, what just happened? And then I also have to be mindful I'm working with Hayley, who will be in a reflective space now.
Yeah. I'm just going, all these pieces are coming in
Yeah.
because the funniest thing is, Claire, like I've just got to share this because like camels this week in my life, and then they were in the desert with me, like, but camels all week. And I said to my mum last night, I think a camel is my spirit animal. I don't know what is going on. And and then when that come up and there was two camels there with the people in the desert, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then like I'm just gonna go on because that's what but also when it got to that bit in the market where they were being forced to work, I was like, this all makes sense now because I've almost had an aversion to work.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, and I've had this sense of like, um, yeah, like I don't, when I am working, it's fine, but I could easily go without it. Do you know
Yeah.
what? Like, I could
Yeah.
easily go without it and fill my day. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, so that kind of made sense. So I was like, oh, this is where that's come from. So it's not where I thought it might have come from either.
Yeah, so there's a difference then being forced to work against your will. And for me, like forced to work in the mainstream, it'd be like, no, there's a whole rejection there. But our unconscious mind just puts work, whatever you're doing, in one ball. And we've been able to untangle that and say, like, no, the power's in your hand to create the business that you want rather than being forced to do what everyone else is doing or forced to do what you were told, all of that stuff.
Mm.
It's fascinating about the camels because over the weekend I was in the car with my daughter and like, Maddie, there's two camels. Like what? Like we were driving to get the Christmas tree, so we were out. Yeah, and it was just like,
That's exactly how this started for me this week. We were driving, and I said to the kids, there's two camels. And then I was dreaming about camels, like, and then I was like reading about camels in my book, and I'm like, I
I
don't know.
love how this works. That's awesome confirmation. I love
Mm,
that.
mm.
So, if there's a choice to show up in your business, what's next? What's that next small step that you can take besides, besides, you know, overthinking it? Like, what is that next small step that you can take to make the light shine in your business, Hayley?
I'm just feeling like I'm just gonna show up for the party. So,
Yeah,
like I don't have to worry about that. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, to show up. It's it stands out to me. It's just an offer of what I'm observing is to now go and write a little bit of a list on what are your negotiables, what's the party versus what's the non-negotiables, and to
Mm.
get clear on that. Uh, yeah, working for others or whatever, being forced to do things you don't want to do, like be writing that list down so that when you're in that creative spark of energy, it's like, yeah, this is what we're moving towards. How does
Yeah.
that feel for you?
Yeah, good. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you have any questions about any of part of that process or what just happened?
No.
Well, we will leave it here for now, but I'll be very, very curious and please feel free to update me, Hayley, with the next steps on what comes up for you. I'm sure our listeners will be curious to see to step into this business. Not that it's the camel business, but to step into that light party and yeah, just seeing that blossom of energy just starting to open up where maybe previously you weren't even aware of it. Maybe you were had your blinders up and all of the shoulds, and now it's like, no, let's go play. So I'll be curious to hear what what changes now.
Yeah. Watch his face. Thanks, Claire.
Fantastic. All right. Well, it has been an absolute honor. What a journey that we've been on from attracting clients to being with the camels, the my version of parts integration. What did you think about that one, Hayley?
I'm sort of like, it's just my head is in this really expansive state right at this minute. And so it was all amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll fill the audience in at the beginning. Hayley said, oh, your coaching sessions, you finish them quite quickly. And it's sort of like, yeah, because usually the client's integrating and this is now the time just to go and ground, put your feet on the ground, have a heavy meal or a water, do all the things to bring all aspects into you to come back into this now moment to go play. So I will love you and leave you, Hayley, for now. But I want to come play at the party where, send me the invite.
Okay. Thanks, Claire.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.